members here are Bill Gels and uh, and and Anjana, and this is a lead student representative. Introduce yourself, please. Use your microphone.
I'm Emmy.
Emmy, okay. And Bess Yates, who is vice chair. Great. All right. I would like to put up the minutes for approval by all members present, if that's possible. Raise your hands if you approve. Okay. And I take it that Melissa, you approve as well?
Yes, I approve.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. So, okay. Public comment. We have to keep it brief right now. Maybe at the end you can follow up, Diana.
Yeah, I'll do it briefly because I'm not going to stay past 7.
Okay.
Diana Pope is my name. I'm at Windermere Avenue. So just two things. They're kind of random, but relevant to the topics we've covered recently. So one of them is in the survey that is being contemplated to send out or maybe be included with handing out plants, those kinds of things for the township. I'm just wondering if you might want to include a question about gas-powered leaf blowers or just leaf blowers, just a general something or other to get feedback on how the community feels about them in general. The town hall is obviously bringing out people, but this would cover the whole population of the township.
Yes.
A thought.
No, that's a great thought, Diana. Thank you.
Okay, the second thing is also related to native plants and gas-powered leaf blowers. During the town hall, more than one person raised the question of challenging topography, that they have difficulty getting rid of debris in very steep hillsides. So I'm wondering, I happen to live in a place right across from the middle school that has very steep banks that are mowed. So it's difficult for the people to mow them. It creates noise for the middle school. And perhaps it could be the site of a demonstration project of ground covers. So it's obviously privately owned. So I can't speak, obviously, for the management, but I wouldn't be surprised if they might be amenable because they would ultimately save money not having to pay for the time it takes to mow it. It's a very challenging area. So anyway, just throwing that out there. Won't take any more time.
Thank you, Diana.
Thanks.
Okay, I would ask Lauren or Emily to Emily, please introduce yourselves and your presentation on the regional planning for Delaware Valley's benchmarking program.
Sure. So good evening. My name is Lauren Pulowski. I'm a senior program coordinator in the Office of Sustainable Energy at DVRPC, by the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission. Go ahead, Emily.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Pugliese. I'm the Policy and Program Director at Green Building United. We're a regional nonprofit working to make our built environment more sustainable and resilient. I've also been working on Philadelphia's benchmarking program and helping Lauren and DVRPC with the regional program. Excited to be here tonight to talk with all of you.
All right, and then I'm going to share my screen so we can present some slides. All right, So yeah, Emily and I will present on the regional benchmarking program and the model ordinance we've developed. We're going to go through some slides, but happy to answer any of your questions and take any comments at the end. Yeah, excited to be here. Just to give you some background, DVRPC is the Regional Planning Commission or Metropolitan Planning Organization for Greater Philadelphia. So we help a lot of communities throughout the region, including Radnor, and conduct different types of planning. And today on the agenda, we're going to talk through what is building energy benchmarking, discuss the regional benchmarking program, which Radnor is a part of, talk about the model ordinance and the legal opinions and program plans for this year, and then happy to answer questions at the end.
Okay, so I think this part is my turn. Even though you're controlling the slides, Lauren, you can go to the next one.
Okay.
So, energy benchmarking is very simple. You're really just measuring the building's energy use and performance and then comparing it to buildings of similar size and type. So different areas do different things. So for example, Philadelphia requires water use to be measured as well, but the regional program is not requiring that. And the other part of this is that we do want that information to be publicly disclosed in some form. But this is not a requirement to reduce energy usage. It's really just to get a baseline and start measuring and figuring out where buildings are. And it's kind of the foundation for further building performance standards, which do set some target goals for energy reduction and energy efficiencies. You can go to the next slide. So again, you're really just looking at the annual energy consumption, electricity and gas. So for Radnor, that's PICO, right? And then any delivered fuels that you may have. So oil, etc. And then the building characteristics, so the size, the type, the year it was built, etc., because that's going to determine a different type of energy use. So if you're looking at comparing the numbers, you want to know the building type so you can compare, effectively. What you're getting out of that, you're taking those two pieces of information and you're getting energy use intensity, which is just really the energy per square foot per year. This data is put into Energy Star Portfolio Manager. That's the tool we use to gather the data and information, and that provides an Energy Star score. And the Energy Star score is a score that was created by the Department of Energy. 50 is the national median. So with that, you're looking, if you're going over, if you're at 75, you're doing really well. A score of 100 is perfect. And below, maybe there's some improvements you can make to get yourself at least to that median point. And then you're also getting some greenhouse gas emissions data.
So the what you're comparing the particular particular building's energy consumption to is the energy consumption, the average energy consumption, I guess, of buildings of similar size, type, and year built nationally. So
right.
it's.
You can do it. We could do it locally, so it could be just looking at Radnor's. But the Energy Star score is giving you that score nationally.
Yeah, and
so we can look at the EUI and compare that to other buildings in Radnor. We can, narrow it down that way, or even in the region. The Energy Star score is a really national look at that, at where you are.
Right. You're not holding the building against a perfect GBU built building, for example.
Right.
Yep.
There's not that many.
I just wanted to highlight the Energy Star score takes into account like temperature, different like climate variations across the country, some other factors into that. So you might say like hospital building in Philly or in the Philly area in Radnor, might be different from a hospital in like a really cold or warm climate. It might have different energy consumption patterns, but it takes into account different characteristics.
Ah, okay. Good.
Any other questions on this? I know this can be a little, these terms are a little bit confusing. Any questions, just let us know. Can go to the next slide, Lauren. So this is kind of what you can, an example of what you can get from using Energy Star Portfolio. So it's probably a little bit small on the screen, but it's giving you some data on energy use. So it's kind of the output that you get from participating in this and entering your data into Energy Star Portfolio Manager. We also use a reporting tool called Beam. It's a CRM, and that also is able to, so we get the data from Energy Star Portfolio Manager, it goes into Beam, and we're able to also take that data and provide additional reporting information and metrics for building owners. So, you know, you can look at estimates, you know, annual energy costs, annual energy usage. Again, it's going to compare, it's going to give you the Energy Star score and some other information as well. So if we're looking at kind of energy intensity and greenhouse gas emissions, buildings actually are kind of the biggest driver of energy use and greenhouse gas emissions. So you're looking at 59% coming from buildings, 28% coming from transportation, and then about 13 from agricultural waste, industrial processes, et cetera. So buildings, including commercial and residential, are really the largest place where we can make changes and realize energy efficiency and greenhouse gas reductions. I think that it's also, we can say on this slide, I think it's also important to say, as we're all facing the boom of data centers and increased energy load, that this is a real opportunity to be able to look at energy use of these larger buildings and facilities and see where you can have energy reductions so that we have grid stability throughout the region. So just wanted to kind of, I know that data centers are a talking point that everyone's discussing and a concern. And so this is, again, kind of like the first step to realize efficiencies in other areas so that the energy usage overall is stable. By benchmarking, building owners have been able to realize some energy and cost savings. A lot of people just don't look at their energy bills in a way that's meaningful. So this is providing you some information that you can use to make reductions or identify maybe where you want to invest some money to find better efficiencies. And again, there's no requirements in a benchmarking program, but it does give you that data that if you want to make improvements, then you can see the realized cost savings of your energy bills and also energy efficiencies long term. You know, it also supports targeted efficiency programs and incentives. So there's lots of incentives through PICO, through state and federal government, some less programs than before maybe, but still some out there, definitely at the state level. And again, laying that groundwork for advanced building performance policies. You know, this is a big one, improved building comfort. If you are improving the energy efficiency in your building, you are also improving the comfort and indoor air quality, et cetera. So better for everyone who uses that building. And then, you know, energy efficiencies, upgrades create jobs and opportunities in the local workforce. So it looks like Radnor has benchmarking in your Township Renewable Energy and Conservation Plan. So, you know, that's an opportunity here to complete that task. Yeah, so the energy audit, you know, that's another thing that Philadelphia does. So again, would be the next step once you have that baseline of benchmarking. And, you know, the benchmarking kind of falls into all of these other climate action plans and sustainability plans in the region and the state. So, PICO did assessments of 3 municipal-owned buildings in Radnor, and it looks like there are some opportunities for energy use reductions through measures like installing more efficient heating and cooling systems, installing energy-efficient lighting, modifying heating and cooling schedules. So some pretty, some of these, obviously, replacing equipment can be costly, but modifying heating and cooling schedules is very low effort, and can really realize some cost savings for the municipality. Retro commissioning of building controls, and adjusting temperature setbacks. So PICO identified a potential annual savings of $37,710, or 29% of current energy costs, which is pretty significant. And the township could avoid up to 224 tons of carbon emissions per year. So there are benchmarking programs throughout the country, and many in the state of Pennsylvania as well. Again, we talked about Philadelphia. Pittsburgh also has a benchmarking program. The entire state of New Jersey recently implemented a benchmarking program. And you can see, most of the surrounding states have some sort of benchmarking programs, and lots of areas around the country do as well. Some of these also have building performance standards. So again, that's the next step where you're requiring some energy efficiency metrics be met on a long-term basis. But this is not new. People are doing it all over the country. It's been implemented really without issue throughout the country. I'll pass it back to Lauren.
All right, thanks, Emily. So next, I'll talk about the regional benchmarking program. So the regional benchmarking program of Southeast PA, the goal originally was to work with Green Building United to support municipalities in the region with building energy benchmarking policy making and implementation. So some of our goals were to increase the adoption of these policies in small communities, spread the benefits of the program at scale at minimal cost, reduce regional greenhouse gas emissions, tying back to that graph that Emily showed, just to meet regional and local climate goals, and then helping building owners understand their building performance, participate in energy efficiency programs, and implement improvements. And Green Building United has, been working with the Philly benchmarking program for over a decade, I believe. So we leverage their expertise and carrying this out to different municipalities in Southeast PA. And just to give you some background, we have grant funding that has supported this program for at least a couple of years, and continue to have grant funding through June of next year. And we're looking to apply to DCD's MAP Municipal Assistance Program this fall to secure some additional funding for another couple of years. So looking to carry out our program services in future years as well. Radnor is one of 5 municipalities in our pilot cohort. So we also have West Whiteland Township and Westchester Borough in Chester County, Lower Merion Township in Montgomery County, and Middletown Township in Bucks County. So we're working together as a pilot cohort. We have been for years, and it's exciting to now be working with each municipality to propose, hopefully, the policy in their jurisdiction and spread it to more municipalities in the future. So all 5 municipalities have signed the LOU to participate in the program. Radnor did so last June, although we were already working together before then. It doesn't require any municipality to pass the policy, but just to explore it in their jurisdiction. We've also been working together on benchmarking Radnor's municipal buildings and other municipal buildings in the pilot cohort, and pretty much done with that. So Radnor's already set up an Energy Star portfolio manager account. We worked through getting energy bills and then resolving some data issues. And we've been having monthly calls with our pilot cohort and our municipalities in the program. And
Lauren, I'm sorry, going
and
back,
GBU. Oh, sorry.
Lauren,
You have a question?
going back to your previous slide, that
Sure.
that second bullet, does that apply to Radnor? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So the way that the model ordinance is written, which I'll talk about in later slides, municipal and county-owned buildings would be the first buildings to comply, and the deadline would be June 30th of next year, as like a phase-in approach. So other buildings that would have to comply with the policy would comply in June 30th of 2028. But yeah, we're already like pretty much all the way to the finish line for municipal buildings. My team at DVRPC and GBU provide different types of services and support through this program. So we developed a model benchmarking ordinance with the pilot cohort, the local county governments, PICO, national benchmarking experts, and we finished that in the fall. We also had legal opinions from a legal advisor about the ordinance itself and benchmarking as in Pennsylvania. We've hosted policy development workshops. We provide stakeholder engagement resources, benchmarking training, data analysis, and other types of support. And when building owners make an account, an Energy Star portfolio manager like Radnor, we're able to, they connect with our regional portfolio in the BEAM tool. So we can see that data, we can track compliance with the ordinance, we can resolve any data issues, and do some like summary reporting and analysis. It also offers a benchmarking help desk, so if anyone has questions, they can submit a ticket through this BEAM tool, and we can work to resolve any issues. And we provide training resources through the platform as well. Other things we provided so far, we have a program fact sheet, which is like a 2-pager we share with people. Our knowledge base is like a website through the BEAM tool. It literally has a step-by-step guide for building owners on how to set up an account and benchmark their buildings, get their utility bills, all that kind of stuff. Like I mentioned, we developed the ordinance and legal opinions. We have an FAQs document about the policy, the scorecard templates. So a bunch of different resources talking about benchmarking, the program, and the policy. And we're working on some videos as well. And then just to give you an overview of the model ordinance, which is like the main topic for today. Sorry, there's a lot of words on this slide, but we developed the model ordinance, as I mentioned, with a whole bunch of folks over the past year or so. It has been reviewed by the municipal solicitors in the program, and the 3 legal opinions from our legal advisor, Fox Rothschild, evaluated the model ordinance and benchmarking in Pennsylvania, and ultimately concluded that enactment of the model ordinance would be consistent with the police powers of the covered municipalities and is likely to withstand a challenge to its validity. And in Pennsylvania, benchmarking has not been challenged in the courts in Pittsburgh or Philly. And in other programs across the country, like, I don't think there's been any legal challenges, or if so, like very few. So wanted to throw that in there. To give you an overview of the ordinance, it's pretty short. It's like 8 pages, so it's not too long, but it lays out the processes, rules, and requirements for the regional program, including what buildings are included, and I'll talk about this on another slide, but which buildings have to comply, and this is based on their size and type. So the main category is commercial and multifamily buildings over 25,000 square feet. There are some exemptions, such as heavy industrial, manufacturing buildings, and vacant buildings. They wouldn't have to comply with the policy. There's information about what tools you can use, like Energy Star Portfolio Manager, what information you have to share as part of your benchmarking submission, and then the timeline. So when the reporting deadline is, the municipality gets to decide how they'd like to share the information at the end of the year on, how many buildings are in compliance with the ordinance and some of the characteristics about their Energy Star scores. The municipality can also decide what they want the fine amount to be for violation and the frequency of those fines. So it could be per day, per month type of thing, but that's customizable. And then, of course, connecting to information on energy audits and incentives.
So the penalty would be for not reporting through BEAM your building's energy portfolio. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it would be for not reporting the information. And hopefully through this presentation you can see we're trying to emphasize, like, we have so many resources. There are so many programs across the country that do this. They've made videos and resources as well. And setting up an account in Energy Star is pretty simple. It shouldn't take a building owner more than like a couple hours per year to go through the process. And we have a lot of resources we can help them out along the way. So it's not a time-intensive process. Energy Star Portfolio Manager is a free tool. It's used by hundreds of thousands of building owners in the US and in other countries as well. And yeah, there's a whole spreadsheet of benchmarking programs in the country and what they set for the fine amounts and the frequency. So it makes it easy to compare and see, like, okay, most programs charge like, you know, a certain fee like every day or every month or something. So it's up to the municipality to decide. And this is also a key point. So these would be the buildings that would be covered by the policy. So first category is municipal and county-owned buildings in Radnor Township that are over 5,000 square feet, so just really large buildings. Large multifamily buildings that are 25,000 square feet or more and have 5 or more residential dwelling units. So not single-family homes or small homes. These are just like really big buildings, multifamily buildings. And then large commercial and institutional buildings that are over the 25,000 square feet threshold as well. So that can include like offices, retail centers, hospitals, universities, religious institutions in some rare cases. So I put in a couple examples here in Radnor Township. And the compliance schedule, as it's written in the ordinance, would be using a phased-in approach. So the first year would be municipal and county-owned buildings only, and we can encourage other building owners to voluntarily benchmark and submit their data ahead of the year 2 deadline if they would like to be good stewards of, you know, and supporters of this policy, or just if they're curious about seeing their Energy Star score and things like that. But yeah, all the other covered properties would have a compliance deadline of June 30th, 2028. And then building owners would be notified typically each year in January. And the BEAM tool helps us to send out automated reminders after the first year, so we can notify them like every month if we wanted to, once they're set up with their account. And then the municipality would do annual public reporting after these June deadlines, so sometime in the second half of the year. And I think I only have like a couple more slides in this section, but just to give you an idea of how many buildings this would cover in Radnor. Radnor has 3 municipal buildings that are over the size threshold of 5,000 square feet. So it's the municipal building, the activity center, and the public works garage. And it's about 100,000 square feet in gross floor area. At 25,000 square feet for the other 2 categories, the program would cover about 109 buildings, which is only 18% of the total commercial buildings in the township. So a really small number overall, but a huge amount of the rentable building area or the gross floor area. So that would be about 8 million square feet, or 74%. So this is a small number of buildings for us to track the compliance with the ordinance and provide support, but they're large energy consumers that have great opportunity for reducing building emissions and energy consumption. And to just break it down on another way, this would include the following key property types. So in Radnor, it's mostly multifamily buildings and office buildings and retail centers. So there's a small number of student, healthcare, and hospitality buildings as well, but mostly multifamily and office buildings in the township. Any questions on those slides? And then we just have a couple more for Emily to go over. All right, we can keep going.
So we're currently meeting with each municipality monthly and hoping to work with the municipalities to pick a board meeting date for policy proposal in the summer and fall, finalizing the ordinance, developing an operations plan, and finalizing municipal building benchmarking. Again, all of these tasks we are here to help you with and support in any way that you need. We're also doing stakeholder engagement, so helping the municipalities learn about benchmarking, the program, the policy, et cetera. So doing things like meeting tonight, talking with sustainability committees, talking with anyone who is interested in learning more about benchmarking in the municipality. And then we're also working on building data summaries and covered properties lists. So the covered property is the buildings that are included, that are required to benchmark. So DVRPC is organizing and analyzing building data in each municipality to determine the number of buildings by size and type. And this is one of the more difficult pieces of this, because there's oftentimes not the best, like, it's hard to get the data. And DVRPC does have a membership to, now I'm blanking on the name of it, Lauren.
CoStar Commercial Real Estate Database.
Yeah, which helps pull that real estate data and is helpful so that we can comply to create the covered properties list that then would be obviously reviewed by the municipality, et cetera. But we are also working on that. So if the municipality decides to move forward, your role would be to benchmark municipal properties, which is already happening. So inputting that data into Energy Star portfolio annually by June 30th. And then if there were any issues, that we alert you about resolving those issues. Notifying the building owners of those covered properties that they are required to comply with the ordinance. So that will be a combination of direct mailing, emailing, and public posting. Issuing violations and conducting enforcement. So again, that depends on how each municipality decides to handle the fining and violations. But that would be on the municipalities end. And then public disclosure of benchmarking data. That should be posted and updated annually by the municipality. And should include a summary of energy consumption and overall compliance with the ordinance. In Philadelphia, there's like a map, kind of like an interactive map that you can click on and see the data throughout the city. So just kind of a review. Again, the benchmarking policy would only require reporting. It is not any requirements to reduce energy use and is a pretty low amount of time needed to do that. It's aimed at large commercial and multifamily buildings, no single-family homes or small businesses. It is easy and free for building owners, and we have the support of GBU and DVRPC. The data can be used to create target energy efficiency programs and incentives, and also hopefully motivates building owners to realize their own energy improvements. So we've had a lot of questions about why can't this just be voluntary, and that would be great. But unfortunately, those programs are just ineffective. People choose to opt out. There's a lot of incomplete data. There's not kind of the background and admin needed for that to be successful. And so it's been shown over and over again that a mandatory benchmarking program is really what's most effective and allows you to use that data to build more programs in the future. Just want to reiterate that this is a very low lift for municipalities. So the first year, setting up an Energy Star portfolio manager account and entering the data, there is a little bit of a learning curve, but we're talking a couple of hours. And then after that, it should be much less than that. There's a tool to link the PICO data to Energy Star portfolio manager, so it's even somewhat automated. You still have to go in annually and do some steps, but it's very, very simple and really a low lift. And you have a working group of people in this together. So those 5 municipalities working together learning from each other, meeting frequently, and kind of solving issues together. So, any questions? We'll open it up to questions.
Hi, I may have missed this part. I'm Kathy Agnew, Commissioner in Radnor. Was there a date for grant applications? She might not be able to hear me. Could you repeat it?
Sorry, say it again. Was there a date for?
Grant applications. Didn't you say this was grant funded?
We're looking to submit to the DCED's Municipal Assistance Program funding opportunity, and their fall deadline is September 1st. But we'd complete the application on behalf of the municipalities.
Oh, you do? Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, Lauren, what was the name of that grant again?
It's called the Municipal Assistance Program. It's through the State Department of Community and Economic Development, or DCED. They have a spring and fall application cycle every year.
I'll throw a link in the chat.
Yeah, talking about links, I'd like to include this slide deck, if possible, with the minutes as a link. Is that possible? Is this the same link you had, Lauren, for our more focused presentation with Bill and myself and other EAC members earlier this week?
This is a newer slide deck, so I could share it with you, and you can add it to the meeting minutes.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, I had a question. It's Sven. Thank you for the presentation. The municipalities that participate in the program, how much carbon dioxide emission reduction do you have 3 years after participation versus municipalities that don't do anything? Is there any, let's say, impact that you can measure what happens once you get the data and you create the transparency that you here talked about?
That's a good question. I mean, it varies depending on the municipality, and also that's building size threshold, like how many buildings would be captured. But typically in programs across the country, it's anywhere from like 3% reduction in energy consumption to like 10-15%. So it just really depends. And it depends, you know, if building owners see the information and if they're provided with resources or links to get an energy audit or assessment, take advantage of a rebate program. So that's the goal, is to try to connect building owners to those resources so they do implement building energy improvements, and then we see those reductions.
And the benchmark is standardized, that you benchmark the same type of building, so a residence building with X floors and that size is benchmarked against this exactly same type of building, so that you do an apples to apples comparison, or is it just across the pooled data set of the municipality against other municipalities? Because I'm just trying to understand what is the actionable insight that I gain, because as a residence owner, I always get from PICO my benchmark against my neighbors in the neighborhoods, and I'm always consuming more energy, but it's most likely due to the fact that I have a bigger house. But it's also, of course, worthwhile going through the effort if we have measurable differences against a situation where we don't do it. That's basically the question.
Yeah, so for the Energy Star score, they do account for some of that. I don't know that it's exactly the same versus exactly the same, but as the like building types are compared.
Could you share a report with us on a municipality that we can have a look at it, about what the user or participant gets for the effort in putting the data in, so that we get an idea about what is the action that you can derive from it. Because just benchmarking for the sake of benchmarking, of course, doesn't create any progress. You need to translate it into something where we could encourage building owners to specifically address topics that the benchmark reveals they didn't address otherwise.
Yeah, so a couple things. The building scorecard that they would receive after benchmarking helps them to understand their Energy Star score and can connect them to some of those like rebates and incentives and other resources. So part of it is, one, we're collecting this data at like a large scale so we can understand which buildings need the most help. So if like in Radnor, after 1 year of benchmarking, we look at all the benchmarking data and we see, okay, most office buildings are high performing, they have good Energy Star scores, but multifamily properties are not getting high scores. Like then the municipality or PICO or other like local governments can help to make programs to focus on multifamily buildings, for example, and provide resources for improving energy efficiency of those. Also for the building owner, just by making them aware of their energy usage, it typically motivates them to make some improvements, even just from a cost perspective. Like a lot of times can help them to reduce their energy bills, especially in a time right now where energy prices are pretty high due to data centers and other stresses on the grid. So energy efficiency is like a big tool these days. But yeah, it helps the municipality and local utility to have a lot of data at a large scale. It's publicly reported, so the building owner can also receive some positive PR from participating in sustainability related initiative, and then also having a good Energy Star score and stuff or a bad one can help them to make decisions about their operational performance.
Any other questions?
Can you ask, if she can't hear me, I don't think, is it publicized? Are the benchmarks publicized?
Is the
Yes, it's
benchmark
public-facing.
publicized? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they're saying it can be, and I think our ordinance can determine to what degree that building is identified. As the example was given of a map showing individual buildings and maybe a color code for their ranking.
Yeah, I can pull up the map if you'd like. Give me 1 second.
I mean, ultimately, if you're really inquisitive, you could find out which building is getting the lousy score and which is getting the better score, as I would figure, especially in a small town like this.
Sorry, Jim Riley here. Quick question. Are you doing not just buildings, or are you doing schools, actually? That's my first question.
Sure. So really quickly, I just wanted to show you the Phillies map. So you can see the number of properties that reported their information, properties that didn't report. So they have about like over 2,000 buildings. And when you zoom into the map, you can see it's color coordinated for the building or property type. So you can look at like this really large dot, for example, is 1501 JFK Boulevard. It pulls up the building name and the EUI, energy usage intensity, their total floor area. So it can have some basic information about their energy consumption data. But yeah, each municipality doesn't have to make a map like this. It's an option if you wanted to. It could just be a list or some other method of public reporting. And then to answer your question, yes, so schools would be included because they're an institutional building. So it would be schools over 25,000 square feet. So it depends on the building size.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lauren and Emily. So Bill and I will be looking forward to our next one-on-one, and with the township, I guess through Melissa Kahn, we'll be meeting with our counterparts here at Radnor pretty soon. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, and we're happy to answer any questions or anything you have in the future. Feel free to email us. I'll put it in the chat, and I will send you these slides as well.
Thank
But
you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
So that's an exciting development, acting on our renewable energy and conservation plan that went into, really started to work in 2021. Moving on, I will not go through the announcements. They are in the agenda printed out, so they're, I hope, self-explanatory, and you can follow up on these wonderful spring opportunities to get outside. Ongoing business, municipal energy and conservation and electrification. I haven't gotten an update, so I think it hasn't changed much from our last update about 3 months ago. And as I said, for benchmarking, Dan and Bill will be working with DVRPC and GBU and the Township on a monthly basis. Public education, Radnor EAC lecture series and workshops. I think, Bess, this is really your effort. Please give us a lowdown.
Sure. So do we still have Melissa and Carol here? Are they?
Yeah. Melissa, Carol, are you still online?
I don't.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great.
I can't see the screen anymore, but
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay, I think it's been. Let's see.
Melissa, are you there?
I think she might.
I'm here.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Okay.
Just checking. I don't see you all, so we can get that screen fixed. Yes, so we have a bunch of things going on in April, including a series of work days with the sensory garden. This is actually not on the list, but we'll update this. Series of work days with the Radnor Elementary School sensory garden. They're having 2 work days on Wednesday. One was today, and then there's going to be another one next Wednesday in the afternoon. And an announcement has been sent out to the high school Schoology page. I think they've gotten some volunteers for that. Did any of y'all, have y'all participated, our associate members, in today's or next week for that one? Okay, not yet. Okay. Then on April 18th, we really don't have too much of an update. We're excited to have Eva Monheim come to the library and work with a youth workshop for 3rd through 8th graders, and that is up on our website, the EAC website and the library website, who we're partnering with, along with that is it for that sort of sponsorship. But we are, so there's the Radnor Memorial Library hands-on seedling workshop with Eva, and then we also have a handful of lectures coming up in May at the Kreutzberg Center on May 12th, the Londa Meadow workshop or lecture with Sarah Weiner Cooper, who's the principal of the New Directions in American Landscape group, along with Larry Weiner, who is a meadow and woodland designer. They will be with us on that evening of Tuesday, May 12th. And then lastly, we have in June at the library, we're going to hear from Eva Monheim again on assisted plant migration on June 9th. And how plant migration can help, or assisted plant migration can help expand our native plant palette for climate change with a focus on shrubs. So all of these advertisements have been created. We need to get those to, at least the May and June advertisements need to be posted to our website, and then also sent out far and wide. So I'm going to be sending you these advertisements for you all to share with everybody also. So thank you all. I think
Thank
that's
you,
going to be
Bess.
it. Yeah, great.
Myself working with Ian, we're going to make sure the April 28th Buzz About Bees presentation and the Lawn to Meadow presentation on May 12th and the assisted plant migration presentation on June 9th, they will be live streamed as well as allow for in-person attendance. Let's see. Radnor News Community Newsletter. Again, hats off to Bess and I believe Sven? No, just Bess. For the spring issue, discussing the mosquito bucket challenge, how to reduce mosquitoes in your backyard in an eco-friendly way and avoiding mulch volcanoes that slowly kill trees. And also ads for our May 2nd annual EAC native plant giveaway at this building, as well as the April 28th talk about bees in peril. So thank you, Bess, for those ads put in the spring issue. Now, the summer issue, there have been some ideas put forward, and I'm asking the EAC to narrow those down and who would volunteer to put together a article or graphic for this summer issue. Ideas like the eco-friendly yard program, we could certainly repeat that posting. I think it would be important to do that. The native milkweeds and nectar-producing plants and how they aid the monarch butterfly in its annual migration was another idea. So what does everyone think?
I think certainly the eco-friendly yard program could work, and then something on monarch and pollinator, nectar-producing plants, that would be a great one. I think we could also repeat the mosquito bucket challenge. It was smaller than I anticipated in the most recent one. It was just a quarter of the page, and it could be the whole page. We could make sure that it gets a little bit more press.
Okay.
Yes, I couldn't read it.
I know. And then same for the tree mulching guide. So,
Bess,
yes.
These BT tablets can also be used in bird baths, right? So when I heard about that. I have to look
Okay.
more into it.
All right.
You can, you need to, when you plant for pollinators, you also need to provide them water source. So when you do the water source, you don't want that to be a mosquito breeding ground.
Right.
If you are away, you don't want to leave that water there. So I think if you include the tablets in there,
Yeah.
that would,
Okay.
I think I heard it from Doug Tallamy. Somewhere I heard it. We can look
Okay.
further into it.
Okay.
Another thing I would like in the summer issue to be included is the gas leaf blower.
Right.
We can start our education efforts by, giving like bullet points on why they are hazardous, and also encourage people to reduce the use. From the town hall, we saw how people were reluctant to let go of these leaf blowers. You can at least start reducing by, raking some leaves, and also maybe consider, not using it for backyards. People can think about leaf compost piles in the backyard. I have one in my backyard. It's like very simple. You put like 2 stakes and put a wire mesh around it. It's only for fall leaves. So if you at least reduce your backyard blowing, it will reduce the curb leaf waste and also reduce the use of these gas leaf blowers.
Yeah.
This is great. Because our deadline is May 15th for submitting these postings, I think we need some action items here. I could put together something for gas leaf blowers. It'll be brief and to the point. And Bess, I think, was it you who did the eco-friendly yard program last year?
Yes.
So you can just use that same ad. And the mosquito bucket challenge can be magnified by you, Bess, as well.
Sure.
We may basically have a quilt that we're submitting, a page with a quilt of different brief articles in it. Take up the whole page. Who would like to do milkweeds and nectar-producing plants? That's a creative exercise, unless somebody has a public domain
We
ad.
could, excuse me, Dan. I could coordinate with the associate members. If any of you all enjoy graphics and infographic making, we can talk about that for monarchs
Great.
and pollinators. Yeah, we can work on that. Canva.
And we're going to need an editor to compile these various ads into one page to submit.
Yeah. Well, yes.
Would
So
that be you,
I'd be happy to do
Bess?
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you, Bess.
sure.
And Anjana, you had some ideas about water sources, and do you want to put something together? Again, it has to be brief because we're sharing a page. We've got about 4 or 5 postings to go on one page.
Sure.
So if you can put together something and have anything that you're creating from scratch, I think the EAC should review it. So, thank you.
You can also send me the stuff to this leaflet that we have for the plant giveaway, because that goes to 250 households and they already have a garden and are into gardening and biodiversity and other topics. So I think we walk through open doors there, and that would be easy to just add to the handout.
Let me ask you, Dan, have you ever talked, anybody, one of you, with Molly Gallagher about doing, you know how she does around town, Radnor? Doing, you know, like, these are the lecture series this week in the township, these are, you know, or the month or whatever, and describe the lecture series. Have you ever talked to her about that?
I think I did send one of these advertisements to her. But
I don't mean,
what,
you know, just an advertisement like that you would put up
post?
on the website. I mean, you know, she does those videos around town, Radnor.
I have not seen that yet.
Okay, they're great.
Have you all seen
They're
those?
very helpful. So maybe she can do one for all, you guys have lecture series, maybe other ones have lecture series, and do the lecture series this week, and where they are and what they're about, and
Yeah.
make it seem exciting. So,
Yeah.
So this could be a focused video, maybe focusing on our plant giveaway and the associated
yeah, the stuff going on in,
promotions.
not just even around Radnor, but, you know, with the EAC or whatever, like Board of Health, I don't know all the people who have lectures, but, and the giveaway.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that being mentioned, May 2nd, we're going to have a lot of these postings that we're talking about for the community newsletter to be ready to go. For example, the native milkweed and nectar-producing plant ad. We're thinking of giving that as a handout, right, at the giveaway?
We can do that. Yes.
Yep, okay.
I would like to add, why like people shouldn't be scared about milkweed. Something very brief, but like a bullet point maybe. It used to be a thing with agriculture that it would get into hay that that were meant to be fed to cattle. But now, when we live in suburban communities, there is no need to be scared about planting milkweed. And people think about pets accidentally eating milkweed, and that is not something that usually tends to happen because it is a very repelling kind of taste that pets don't usually like prefer. But if somebody is really scared, they don't have to do it. But we can at least put that in our education that this is not a noxious weed, and it has multiple benefits when you plant in your yard.
Yeah, Anjana, definitely add that when you do see the draft that Bess is preparing on the native milkweed. Now, that being said, Sven, you just volunteered for the giveaway on May 2nd for the milkweed nectar brief. You willing to do one for the mosquito bucket challenge as well? So you and Bess either work together or separately?
We have, this is already done. So
It's
I have the
already done.
flyer, I have the leaflet, all the information. We have
Great.
always the option to print 2 or 3 pages, as many actually as we want, because the township is so generous to support us here. So we will have 1 page about the plans that are planned, let's say, in the giveaway. Last year we had on the back page of the leaflet something about, I think it was about books that you could read for your gardening, let's say, inspiration or what it was. And since we already did that last year, we can add, I thought, the mosquito bucket challenge. We can add any information about milkweeds. We can add anything you think might be useful, because I think the 250 households that sign up, they have the mindset to maybe even take action after they read it. Yeah.
Well, that's great.
By the
Sounds
way,
like.
I also think we should ask our high school associates here maybe to also help us on something that I noticed. It's the tree ordinance that we have, because many neighbors take out a lot of trees without thinking about the ordinance or the requirement to replanting. And when I read it, I found it rather complicated to understand. So we can also, for example, add information. What's your right to plant a tree in Radnor along the street or in your garden? And if you want to cut down 5 or 10 trees, you have to actually ask for permission. And I think it would be useful information to have and to simplify it so that people are aware of it, both of their rights but also of the limitations that we have. So it would be nice if you had an idea, go on the website, you find the tree ordinance there, and I could also include it in this leaflet. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Sven.
My email address is in the distribution list that Dan sends around. Yeah.
Right. SF. Easy to find. All right. Well, we got a lot. While we're on the giveaway, why don't we then?
Why don't we cover that?
Yeah, why don't we finish up that? That's on page 5 of my handout to you all.
Okay, the
of the
planned
agenda.
giveaway will happen on Saturday morning, May 2nd.
Yep.
And if
9 a.m. to 12 noon.
9 a.m. to 12 a.m.
And
So we have a certain process how this works, but it's always good to have some volunteers to help out, because it facilitates the process. So if you would like to come and volunteer with us, you are, of course, welcome, and we will happy to be joined by you. That's on May 2nd. So on Friday afternoon, May 1, there's a little work to do, because we buy around about 2,500 plants. We have to take them out of the plastic container and sort them into the bags, 250 bags for each household. So the idea is everybody doesn't need to grab their own plant. They get it already pre-assembled in a little paper bag, and they can drive up to the municipality building. Nobody needs to get out of the car. We hand the bag, we hand the leaflet. Yeah? So that's the most efficient way of doing it. And the day before, Dan and I, we will drive to New Jersey to pick up the plants. Then we come back to here, Radnor, and we could meet with you to basically...
Yeah, we're going to meet at our house, my house, at 414 North Bellevue Avenue in Wayne.
So, and the process is pretty simple. We have 2,500 plants lying around there, and we just need to put them in the right order and quantity in these bags. Shouldn't be too much work. It's actually a lot of fun. Takes around about 2 or 3 hours, and the more we are, the faster it is. Yeah?
When is this again? Friday afternoon? Around what time are we planning?
It can be towards the evening, starting about, what, 4 o'clock?
4 o'clock, but it shouldn't be more than 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. The more, the faster. That being said, Sven, you also kindly offered to purchase several hundred more plants for the schools. Would that bagging be?
No, we
No
keep
bagging.
these plants
No
in their
bagging for the
containers.
schools?
No
Okay.
And Bess will take care of some of them, and I will take care of a couple of them for the parking lot replanting exercise that I plan with Amber, with the Radnor Conservancy. Also,
Okay.
volunteers welcome. And the question I have to here, to you is, last time, or the first time you joined, was the question of, do you want to build a perennial garden at your school, and where the project stands? Because it just is a question of number of the space you have times plants we have, how
So-
much we can plant.
So
Yes.
the high school is sort of still to be determined. We do have work days at the elementary school, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
And so they have their own budget for plants, but it's really the middle school that needs the most attention. So that is where we will focus. This group of plants will be over at the middle school. And we could definitely use y'all's help in just designing and planting and caring for some of these plants. So we can work on that together.
Good. If you want to change your mind and want a high school garden, you have to get going now, because now it's the time where we order the plants. Yeah.
Okay,
I think
Yeah.
it would be good to add high school also.
right.
Like
We
the-
just need to coordinate with Neil, so
Yeah.
a little bit more on that one. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we can do that.
Because May is the perfect time for planting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will be coming to the monarch plantings also, so maybe we can think about that also in this, I'll let you finish and then.
Okay. What I want to send as a message to the high school, of course, the middle school has priority because Bess was the first one to raise her hand. But if you have an idea about the high school garden, of course, I would encourage you to grab it, the opportunity. Yeah. Good.
Thank you. Thank you, Sven.
Now, advertising for the May 2nd giveaway,
That was in the Township magazine. It's in there.
it's in the township notifications?
Where Bess had her article about the mosquito challenge, I think it was on the next page.
In the community newsletter, right. But also
Exactly.
through the Parks and Rec Department, where people are getting registered.
Yes, it's also alive there.
It's all done. So
Let's
people
see.
can go online and register now.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
And I know that somebody already registered.
Yeah, we have over 100.
Should we advertise wider? For example, the League of Women Voters Environmental Clearinghouse.
Well, I would say we had last year, we had 250 households that with the same amount of advertising basically filled up all the slots. Then we know not everybody is coming, so we will always have round about 500 plants left over
Right.
because they don't show up. These go to the school, and then we are fine, I think.
So you think we got enough coverage
Yes.
in terms of ads?
So
Okay.
I'm just looking at the Parks and Rec website. There are 34 little baggies left. So we're just about down to the last little bit.
34 bag.
The 34 people left. Or 34 seats.
Openings.
Openings, yes.
Great.
Yeah, sorry about
It's like tickets for the World Cup. You better hurry up to buy them.
Yeah, right. That's great news.
And much cheaper.
Okay. Yeah, Sven and I will caravan to New Moon Nursery Friday. All right, and we've got the flyers all lined up for the mosquito buckets and description of the plugs and how to plant them, and the booster flyer for native milkweeds. Was it you, Anjana, who mentioned the wasp nest decoy?
That was Diana Pop. She brought up that idea, and I shared it with you.
Yes. I think this is something that for $9, you get 3 of them. If I volunteer you to purchase some online and bring them to the giveaway. And they're kind of curious looking and make people think, what is that? And
Okay.
I think it's a great idea.
We can
Snip.
do that, and we can also include that in the flyer, the educational pamphlets that we give.
Okay, I'll let
Um,
you coordinate that with whoever's flyer you want to advertise in, because we have, as I see, 3 flyers right now.
Sure.
The mosquito bucket,
How many do you want again? How many are we giving out? We're not giving this to every resident.
no, this
everybody,
is
right?
just,
It's 250. 250 households get 250 bags, and with them always a flyer about the plans and
Yes.
the information.
Yes, but the decoy nest, it's not for all of them, right? The
No.
mosquito tablets.
No,
and
we decided not to order the mosquito tablets.
Oh, we're not doing that,
Yeah.
no.
No.
So how about the decoy nest, Dan?
well, again, I'm not thinking spending a lot on the decoy, wasp nest decoy, but we
Or we
order
could,
just maybe 3, and they'll go fast, but you could also have, work with Sven or Bess on including a short description of the wasp and where to purchase them.
okay.
Thank you. Oh, we also had the great idea of a raffle for 2 trees. Now, are we overburdening ourselves at this point? Someone would purchase the 2 small trees, and there'd be a raffle. And the monetary contributions would go to the Radnor Commemorative Shade Tree Fund. It's a great idea. It's just whether we can have the bandwidth to handle that. What do you all think?
I may have missed that. How do we do the raffle?
It's at the bottom of the agenda.
Yeah, I saw that, but so the people come to the plant giveaway,
Yeah.
they donate $25, I thought.
Well, yeah, if they put in $20, they put in their name on a piece of paper and put it in a hat. And I'd say at the end of the day, they'd have to give their email address or phone number so that if they won, they'd be called and pick up their plant.
Okay, we can try it.
It's logistically
Let's do an experiment here.
a little more involved because,
We need to purchase the trees though, right? We need to purchase the trees, right?
yes, we'd have the tree advertised there. Now, again, if this is just too much for all of us, let's put it off till next year, because we've got a lot going on. What do you say? I'd say let's put it off. Okay, this is a busy time. It's a great idea, but, and I'm so grateful for all the creativity, but we can be overwhelmed. All right. Let's see, okay. Invasive plant species management plan. I believe, Bess, was this your idea, or Carol?
Yes, so I think we'll have more on this in May. So at the moment, I don't have much to report. I think Mira Shapiro is helping to, or thinking about this management plan and talking with various groups.
And,
so I
and
will.
who is Mira?
Mira is she has been working with the Ithan Elementary to get a garden club kind of off the ground there. And then she's also interested in working with, whether it's the Parks and Rec Department, the EAC, the Radnor Conservancy, and just bringing folks together to help manage invasives in Radnor. So, but at the moment, I think we're just in discussion phases.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah, let's keep that idea alive.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, we've talked about garden environmental clubs at Radnor schools, well, to some extent. Bess or An, you can give us any further update?
Really, not much more of an update. I think we're working with the associate members just to see how a few of those the environmental clubs can kind of reactivate. And we're going to be talking with Margie Reinhardt about kind of helping to coordinate the associate members. Maybe we can discuss her possibly being an associate member herself.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be wonderful to have her assistants maybe lead this group.
Yes.
And make connections with the Radnor Middle and elementary schools as well as the high school.
Okay. All right. Let's see. And Bess, you had talked about a flyer for the April Environmental Stewardship Opportunities in Radnor.
Yes, so that's been shared with the high school, and we have a handful of students who are going to be participating in the various events in April. And so we will need to be making another one of those for May, and maybe I could get assistance from one of you all, associate members. That would be great.
Great, thank you. Maintenance of rain gardens and Fenimore Pond algae overgrowth, unfortunately, is not properly, it's not funded for this year, or at least this spring. So I'll be in touch with Tammy Cohen over the summer to see how, if that restoration of those two areas is progressing. Gas leak blower phase out. Well, we had a town hall on April 7th. I presented my 13 slides, 14 slides, promoting the idea of phasing out gas leaf blowers in our township. We got mixed reaction. Those who were against it were very clear and energetic in their disagreement with it, as expected. And but we had several proponents, and
I think it was about 45 to 5.
yeah,
Let's be.
yeah.
So
almost-
if for people who wish to support a phase out, they have to show up on April 23rd.
Right, so,
It'd be helpful if some people on the board, you came, that was great.
yes,
Yeah, they
I'd
could give you some
strongly
support.
ask for EAC members to be present on April 23rd. That's a Tuesday, I believe, is it?
Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
Thursday, at 6:30 in this room. We need more representation of those who favor this idea.
With regard to commissioners being there, you have to understand the commissioners are just there to listen, not to throw support one way or the other, but just to listen to residents and their feedback with regard to pros or cons or other ideas with regard to an ordinance.
Right, and there'll be Board of Commissioner attendance.
Sorry?
Will Board of Commissioners be present, the
Well, I'll be there.
commissioners? Excuse me?
We'll both be there.
Okay, it's disappointing not to have more
They-
present.
Commissioners, let me repeat that. Commissioners will not be present to lend support, to speak.
I'm not
Anything
asking
else,
for
they'd
their
only be
presence,
there
their
to
support.
Listen.
I'm not asking for their support, I'm asking for them to hear
I
the
think
public whom they represent.
I may be mistaken, but I think in correspondence, you wanted them to support, and we cannot be there to support, we can be there to listen.
Kathy, for, pertaining to the comment about outreach regarding the ban, I don't see that on the calendar yet, on the 23rd event. It's not being like publicized enough, it seems.
I brought that up, and Molly went through the list, and it was a long list of everything that she did to publicize it. And that'll, again, go for the 23rd. And it is on the website, the township website. But please, write to me and tell me, if you can't find it, and any suggestions that you have, and I'll gladly pass them on to her.
There's not in, like, I looked up,
In person.
and it's, it's not in,
It's not.
it's on the township, but it's not on the calendar. It's not on the calendar, and there's not enough information,
Oh,
like
I
what you're
see.
doing, why you're doing this.
So it says in
So
the
it's like-
calendar, it'll say
yeah.
what the meetings are, the official
So
meetings
it
for
doesn't-
the
yeah.
EAC, for the Board of Commissioners, whatever. Right, that, yes,
Yeah.
it does not go on the agenda, because those are agenda calendars. Those
Well-
are not town hall calendars.
Yeah, but on the calendar, if you go to the website, if you go to the Radnor.com website, put in calendar, click on that. For the 23rd, it tells you it's recycling for District 1, and then at 6:30 PM, Town
it's
Hall,
there,
GAF
okay.
leaf blowers.
Can we make that also a Zoom access? Can we also?
Yeah, so if the commissioners aren't here, commissioners also watch the videos of all the boards.
Right,
which is
but I
available to
would,
everybody.
but for the public to have access
Oh.
by way of Zoom, would that be possible?
I don't know, we'll have to ask Ian.
Okay.
Ian, can you hear us?
Yeah, I think that would be very important,
I-
because people who can't really come, like, young families,
Let me
people who would
check
like to
with Ian.
support,
Yeah,
may not
and
be
it-
able to come.
And they can, and they have
Right.
emailed individual commissioners, the commissioner for their ward, and they can send an email to them.
That's helpful.
No, actual, like, actual
I know what you
attendance.
mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
She's checking.
virtual
Yeah,
access, right?
because I know that, like, for the Parks and Rec Department, they were having a town hall for the Odoricio improvements, and I think there was just one person who showed up, and now they're gonna transfer it, they're gonna move it to a Zoom meeting, so it seems
Yeah.
like it can be done, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we did it during COVID.
Yeah, right.
Are we done concerning the leaf blower phase out?
Yeah, and we'll find out, and let you guys know about the Zoom. That's a good idea.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah.
Mr. Myers is going to explain how it could work.
Yeah, but for the town hall for the Zoom,
Yes.
we could definitely integrate a Zoom into the town hall, and we'll advertise that and put out a registration link like we've done for the
Yeah.
little lecture series before when we were doing hybrid town halls here in this
Okay.
building.
Great.
And it'll work similarly, but there'll be a Q&A.
Yeah.
They could submit the answers via the chat log, and
Yeah.
then they could be kind of answered in turn, just so it's not like a bunch of voices digitally and then also in the room,
Right. Very
kind of competing.
Yeah.
That might be the best way to handle the Q&A aspect of that. But we could talk further about that
Okay.
offline,
Okay.
and yeah, we'll get that link added and
Okay.
then updated on the township website.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. We need to back up a little bit. We skipped over some things when we went to the May 2nd plant giveaway. The road salt in Radnor Township streams and tap water. Melissa and I are going to be presenting on April 20th to the Board of Health a quick summary of our findings, particularly on tap water salt content over this past winter, and also what members here have done in collecting stream water samples. So we're putting together our presentation right now. We've talked about the Monarch Pledge Survey in terms of milkweeds and nectar-producing plants, eco-friendly yard program. The EAC Community Survey, yes, has got a lot of potential candidate topics that are really still in development, and we're going to have to prioritize for the sake of the community some of these ideas. The seed library at Radnor Memorial Library, we want to support the library in maintaining its stock of seeds and envelopes throughout 2026. And Carol, do you want to speak to this?
Well, I mean, as far as it's my understanding, they're okay right now with seeds, but they could dwindle. And I think if we could continue to support them, that would be great, because we've more or less formed a partnership. I understand that the budget is tight, but I'm hoping that we can provide a grant of $500 again sometime this year. And I know you were working on the budget, Dan. What do you think?
Well, at the back of our agenda that I passed off to you all, it is coming in where we could accommodate the $500 donation. My feeling is to hold off on that, at least for this month. We have several presentations going on in April and May that require honoraria. And the plant giveaway. So I'd like to know exactly what our commitment financially is to those efforts first before we.
I have a comment on that, Dan.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we can hold off.
Yeah.
We did provide the grant. The last grant was towards the end of last year, I believe. So, I mean, I think we're okay on the timing. It isn't like we need to provide it now. I just am hoping that once we figure out some of the other items that we've budgeted, that there will be some money left.
Yes.
I have something to say. So when I spoke with Gay, like Carol, I talked to you about this too. She said she mostly needs help in putting the seeds in the envelopes. And Nora Ellis, our associate member, she had started helping Gay with that. And that's, I think, what they are looking at mostly now. And for purchasing of seeds, they're really good on native seeds, but what they're looking at is vegetable seeds and other ornamental seeds, for which they have funding through the library. That's Library of Things, that's funding it. They were not, looking to purchase more of native seeds at this time, later in the year maybe. And if they are in need at that time, maybe we can, if our budget allows, we can do it at that time. But I think for the next few months, we will be okay. Just providing the help, physically.
So, Anjana, you would like to mobilize a few students to help with packaging the seeds?
Yes, we already started that. So Nora has been helping already.
Okay. Thank you.
Dan, can I talk about the Monarch Pledge?
The
Monarch Pledge?
Yes.
The Mayor's Monarch Pledge, that is an effort from the National Wildlife Federation. They had reached out to the commissioners in our township, and Dan got connected. The deadline was supposed to be March 31, but now they have extended it to May 15. We still have time to apply. It's not EAC who can do the pledge, it's the leadership, the township leader, who would do that. I see this as a good opportunity because we are already doing multiple things that are action plans if we do the pledge. Mm-hmm. The native plant giveaway, the plantings, the education, everything is included as action plan in the pledge. It is a simple form that you would fill out, so the pledge is done by filling out that form. So if the township can do that, we can provide assistance and carry forward from there on. Who would be, would it be Commissioner Riley, the president of the?
Yeah, I'll be glad to do it. It did say, mayor, we don't have mayor or something like.
May 15 is the deadline.
No, I meant there's 7 commissioners.
Yes, that's something for you to decide, is it?
But we call it mayor.
Yes, so any head of the township, the
Okay.
leader is the person to do it. So you would take the pledge and then commit to action plans. There are 30 actions on the list. At least 3 is required, and if you do 8, you can go to the next level, which is a leadership circle. With what we are doing, we would be doing at least 8. So we are already doing it. Everything is already planned by us. So if we do it, and all we need to do is submit the report on December 1. By that time, we will already have completed all of these items.
Thank you, Jim and Anjana.
Yeah, I'll send it in. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we also have that Route 30 native plant corridor project.
Yes,
coming to that.
Yeah, that's the next item.
Yeah. So if we do this monarch conservation project, we can get that linked to the Route 30 corridor project as well. So Dan, do you want to talk about that, or do you want me to? It's on the page 7.
Yeah, sorry, I printed some pages upside down. On March 18th, there was an introductory webinar brought to my attention by Ruth Mooney of Township EAC. And that EAC has advanced putting native perennials along Route 30 in Devon and Berwyn. And I shared with the council my takeaways from this webinar. And if we are to follow in the footsteps of the East Town EAC, for example, we would be paying for the plant plugs, and we would have to approach the landowner for permission to prepare the soil, usually on the strip between a parking lot and the roadside and the sidewalk, for planting, and which may involve breaking up hard clay soil and then mixing in topsoil. And the landowner would have to agree to watering the site for 6 to 8 months after planting and weeding. So this involves some work on our part in approaching these landowners. And if we have specific sites with limited frontage, there may be multiple landowners for a given strip that we would have to approach.
I have an idea on that. The stretch of Route 30 between King of Prussia Road and Radnor Road, there is Radnor Trail going parallel to Route 30. That is there is a visible area with grass
Yes.
on either side of the trail. And there is the road on one side and wooded lot on the other side.
Yes.
That area, if we think about, I think it's managed by Township. It's part of the Radnor Trail.
Yeah.
If we think about that area, we don't have to think about all these considerations like plants being salt tolerant, or somebody needing to
Yes.
take care of the plants. And there in that area there's already a garden planted. It's like a slope, like a small hilly area that's right between the Route 30 and the high school. You can see the high school behind.
Yeah.
That small hill, and it already has some plantings. So I would like to consider that spot to start working on, and it has great visibility. We could include like bright colored native plants right there, including milkweeds, and that would be like a showcase garden that we can start working on, and then slowly over the next few years work along that trail.
We could coordinate with Neil on that and the associate members.
Yes, and that could be, so the associate members had expressed interest in having a native garden installed in the school grounds. So we could either do it as like 2 projects, because this is walkable from high school. So the high school students can walk over and help with the weeding and maintenance on a regular basis. And that is something we can coordinate. And another thing is, we could have another small garden near the school where it's like more easy for students to relax around and appreciate the plants.
Okay.
Yes.
Kathy, I would think Anjana would have to approach Tammy Cohen at least, so it's also Ricky Foster, just to get clearance on preparing beds and where to prepare beds.
Yeah, especially Ricky, because of maintenance over the summer, that sort of thing. Because if it's the students are doing it, but they're not there in the summertime, yeah, that would be
Yes.
a good idea.
Another point on this is that no chemicals should be used around these plants. And I would say no chemical treated mulch also, which would affect the pollinators.
I'm in favor of no mulch, but I'm not, just throwing out how much I don't like
Yes.
mulch. That has nothing, not relevant to anything.
Me
I
too.
mean,
Clogs up
does
the
it-
stormwater drains, et cetera.
And coming to the cost, I mean, who is going to fund this? And I would prefer it to be like a community event with plants being donated. Sven, if you have extra plants that come in excess, we can use it. But from our gardens, we can easily bring plants. Just a few of them. I wouldn't do too much, but some plants that are very showy and attractive, that are, noticeable by pollinators and by humans. It should be like very beautiful, attractive area that people can easily see. And another thing is, we are fortunate in having Villanova University having a considerable strip of land along Route 30, and they have already been doing what we are doing.
Oh, they are.
have they've planted dozens of native trees and shrubs and perennials in very beautifully arranged along Route 30. I would also, reach out to them and see what, their experiences, the practical considerations, the financial considerations. They do mulching around, but it seems to be more of sustainable because they do have a lot of pollinator activity. And even though it's not along Route 30, Penn Medicine is visible from Route 30. They also have done a patch of native meadow. They could also offer some guidance. So to move along with this project, we're going to need a team, ESC members, associate members, and I would also do in partnership with the Parks and Recreation Department, Garden Club, Library for Education, and Chanticleer possibly, and also volunteers from the community who are interested. So we could advertise this also in the next coming, starting in summer. And we could also do an EAC lecture in fall focused on monarch conservation, and do workshops. And I would certainly do the winter sowing for, we can easily grow more milkweeds next year in the plastic milk jugs from seed, and that would be in collaboration with the library, the seed library. We would also, I would also get signs, display signs for education to be implemented in the gardens, in the schools, and along whatever native gardens we plant, and have school students work on that, and maybe artwork and graphics to be included in this.
This is wonderful. We have a lot we could do over the summer if the heat doesn't kill us, supporting this effort. It sounds like you would be at the head of it to organize it. I want to have something in the minutes that captures the essence of your ideas. So I will ask you to prepare that for the minutes.
Yes.
Because there are many ideas there. You may have to prioritize some and just what to do first. And that would be greatly appreciated.
Yes.
Thank you.
And when we do the pledge, we have to list, we have to choose the action items. I would, choose the items based on this, and I can help Commissioner Riley to choose what we can do, what we can actually get done. I don't think it would be very overwhelming. With community effort, we can get this all easily done, and we would start small, focus on one garden, and then slowly expand as we see how we can do it.
Okay.
Okay, I would like to make a comment here or give some feedback.
Sure.
First, it's grades. My recommendation would be, after this experience with the planting project on the parking lots, to pick a site where you have as little or as few stakeholders as possible involved and as little maintenance afterwards. So the easiest way to do it is to really do it. We just discussed earlier at the meeting that we don't have here apparently traction with the high school to set up a simple perennial garden in a high school. For that reason, why don't we try to basically get it going in an area where we have one stakeholder taking care of it? Because my experience is the coordination of many, many different departments in the township is rather challenging, also due to the follow-up that you need to have, because every year you need to follow up on that, on mulching, on not using Roundup to spray areas, and so on. So for that reason, I think starting out rather simple is the best advice.
Yes, thank you. Excellent. That's an excellent point. And I would, emphasize on clarifying all of this before we start the garden. Like, who would be taking care of it? How would we maintain it? For pollinators, we prefer to leave some leaves and do like no dyes in the mulch, no chemical spraying, no Roundup around it, and that needs to be clarified. We would also put up signs and indicate, and also we would assign people to take care of it. So weeds would be cleared regularly, so it will not look like unkempt.
Yeah, and just when you, for example, weeds will be cleared regularly, you have to really think long term, because in 10 years we might not be here.
That's
and there will still need to be people that take care of it. That was my experience. The parking lot was maybe way too ambitious, because you have to think about the Parks and Recreation, the maintenance department, the, let's say, mulching. There's a mulching plan that is set up regularly that needs to be changed. They use weed killers, of course, to make it look nice. That is interfering with the perennials, and so on and so on. So for that reason, my take was, let's take the simple site that we have, because a monarch butterfly actually doesn't care whether it's on the Route 30 or somewhere else, as long as they find the plant.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, it looks like you've already got a single stakeholder. It's the township. So that's the wisdom of that choice, and it's also highly visible. But I agree, the long-term maintenance of all of these sustainable projects is always a challenge. Okay.
Thank you, Sven.
I'm happy to support you. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You have experience. I'll get advice from you.
Yeah, great. New business, community energy conservation, electrification. I keep this item on here because to remind myself and us that this is a very important part of our renewable energy and conservation plan, is to apply energy conservation outside of the municipal realm. Aronimink Golf Club, clear-cutting 9 acres for the PGA tournament, which is about to take place in May. We will just, over the summer, continue to monitor the property and just hope there isn't a torrential downpour that washes away their temporary parking lot. East Town, okay, we just did that. Limiting mature tree removal in the township. Somebody already had said we put something, whose idea there?
Sven.
I mentioned
Sven?
that.
Yeah.
I mentioned that.
I think that was a great idea, though I can't fully remember what it was until I read it.
It just, we added to the leaflet in the plant giveaway. It's simple information about what is the regulation for tree removal and what's your right to plant trees.
Okay.
I think that's a good starting point.
Great.
And then we can recycle it maybe later
Okay.
somewhere else. Yeah?
So you'll prepare that leaflet. Thank you.
I try to encourage our high school students to look into the ordinance to do that, but I can also do it if we don't get it. Yeah.
Okay. Bess, I know, I think this was your idea originally, was it? I have you down here as updating.
I think I may have, I had looked at the different townships,
Yeah.
tree removal as in their woodland ordinance, which I need to look into it further to see how comparable it is to our ordinance here in Radnor. Or if
Okay,
it's,
yeah.
somewhat significantly different.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, oh, and you guys already spoke about it, and it's 6 or more trees, you need a permit, but then if a tree is 30 inches in diameter or more, just one tree, you need a permit for that, to take it down.
Yeah, but I can tell you, in my neighborhoods, I think nobody knows about that because so many trees are taken out and if you talk to the people and say, do you know that you need the permission for that or that you have the obligation to replant it?
Right.
It's not known. It's,
No, yeah, so it is good to let people know.
Yeah. I think the ordinance is there, it's just the knowledge about it is not there. Yeah.
I think that the tree removal.
Oh, let me stop.
Supposed to know, oh, sorry.
You got it.
Is it on?
Yeah.
That the tree removal companies are supposed to know as well. So if the homeowner doesn't know, they're supposed to apprise the homeowner. That's my understanding. I don't, they do or not. Shriners will tell you you can't. You can or you
Shriner,
can't.
I think, yeah.
A real
but
professional tree
Yeah.
company will.
by the way, when I moved here, I took out 3 old, they were definitely dead, the trees.
Yeah.
But nobody asked me about whether I had the permission to do that or not.
I think you can take dead trees down.
Yeah, dead trees are allowed to be taken out, but I was just reminded of it because one neighbor has marked 4 trees for removal, and they're very healthy and very tall. And I thought, oh, we have an ownership of the house. The new people take over the house. They would like to have a different garden design. Let's say, rid of the trees. And I, of course, printed out the ordinance and said, there is an obligation to ask for permission. And maybe for that reason, we still have the trees there. Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, so if you think the tree is dead, you still need an arborist to look at it, 30 inches in
Yeah.
diameter or larger, because otherwise people are like, oh yeah, it was dead. But it has to be checked by an arborist, and then Township has an arborist. So, but again, yeah, we gotta make sure that everybody knows that.
Yeah,
Thanks.
good.
Next item is Brook Farm Trail Clearing. It's a great idea promoted by Alexander, an associate member. Unfortunately, he isn't here.
I can speak on his
Are you-
behalf.
Oh, Bess can speak for it. Great.
So Alexander coordinated with Tammy Cohen of the Parks and Rec Department. And so Anjana and I sat in on the Zoom meeting and just learned a little bit more about what it would take to help clear some of the trails, making the Brook Farm Trail re-accessible for the public for hiking and, just experiencing that part of Radnor. So I think the main issue at the moment is that the entryway into the Brook Farm Trail off of Maplewood Avenue or Maplewood Road is owned by the Mill Dam Club. And so Tammy's going to be discussing the specifics with them about getting access.
What was the name of the club?
Mill Dam Club.
Mill, oh, yeah, okay.
There we go. So that's in discussion, but it looks like May or June, we might have a cleanup event in the Brook Farm Trail. Are you all familiar? Sven, do you know? No. It's on Maplewood. Do you know where Wayne Elementary is? It's really right near there, on the corner, Maplewood and West Wayne. Yeah.
You can't see the trail because.
Yeah,
You can't see the trail because that's the problem. It's
Right.
overgrown.
right. It's a sweet little trail.
Yeah, sorry, that trail,
Yes,
that trail also goes into Brook Farm development.
that's right. So, there's
Close to the Mill Dam, or close to where Mill Dam is, and if you move up away from Mill Dam, away from Wayne Elementary.
Yes.
It connects to Odoriceo. Like, it connects all the way to the woods that then connect to Odoriceo.
Right. That's more like in the trail plan. There really is there's
No
no
path.
formal connection between Odoriceo and Maplewood and Brook Farm Trail
Yeah.
at the moment. That would be wonderful, but
Right.
I think it's a little tricky.
Yeah,
So
but doable.
yeah, that would be wonderful. But
Thank you.
not anytime soon, I don't think.
Bess, Tammy mentioned some liability waiver, right?
Yes,
She asked
so that's correct. So I think that you all, this is an important part of this. If we were to work with youth and just having a cleanup event at the Brook Farm Trail, it would need to be under the EAC's purview, kind of under our jurisdiction. We could partner with the Delco Revolution mountain biking team, who has a lot of they have a stake in doing trail maintenance. There wouldn't necessarily be mountain bikes on this trail just yet, but they have chainsaw experience, at least the adults do, and so they could come out and help out. But we're going to be coordinating with Tammy and just understanding what the liability issues might be with that kind of event. So looking to have this again in May or early June.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, yeah. That's what I understand too. Yeah, and she asked if we had something in place, right? That it would be us.
The Delco Revolution would, yes. So we wouldn't necessarily have to take on the liability, but the Delco Revolution, they have a fancy liability waiver.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, in the interest of time, I'd like to punt to the budget. I just want to encourage all EAC members to confirm my estimates of what our expenses are, what we are committed to doing, and what we expect to pay as unspecified expenses. So please get back to me so I can feel more comfortable putting this in the minutes. All right. Anything else? All right.
I'm wondering, what about the ordinance regarding the single-use plastic bag? Is there something, because you have that here?
Well, yeah, this is something for us to discuss. It was, God, I've had it on the Tracy Viola of the different EAC brought it up about 2 months ago to my attention, that the farmer's market is using, she used the term material-like small bags and plastic produce bags. I don't frequent the farmer's market to see what alternatives could be used. Again, when I was a child, my mother used paper bags to collect produce. So we could confirm, first of all, that are they in violation of our ordinance? If they are, it's a simple matter. But if not, then we need to work with them to work on an alternative way to bag or package the produce.
But they have in any supermarket, you still have these plastic bags to put your tomatoes in.
Yes, yeah, Acme, for example, does in Devon. So I could take a closer look at our ordinance because this is so frequent an exception that there might well be language in the ordinance that allows this to occur. So I'll action myself to do that.
we have to be really mindful of what we want to achieve, because there is a lot of acceptance for this plastic ban ordinance, and people change their behavior and bring their own plastic bags or shopping bags to the supermarket, to Giant or Acme or Whole Foods.
Right.
And if we now start to ban the simple things like where you store your tomatoes, is that something that then backfires because you basically overdo it? Because the amount of energy you have to use to produce a paper bag is actually significantly higher than producing these lightweight plastic bags. For the environment, it's actually better to use a plastic bag for these purposes than to use a paper bag. So for that reason, I think it's actually justifiable to say you use for these purposes a plastic bag, because the net impact is lower than using a paper bag.
Even
I believe there is an exception for bags used to wrap raw food and produce, frozen foods, laundry.
Oh, there is an exception, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we take that and combine it with Sven's comment that the environmental impact of plastic bags is not as heinous as we thought, then we should be satisfied with the status quo. And am I getting support from everybody on that? That we should not bother or investigate further produce markets for bagging?
We could look into whether they are actually giving extra bags, like how they used to in Acme or Giant, like, give you 15 bags to take everything back home. That is something people can address by bringing a big reusable bag. That's but if the farmer's market is giving out extra bags in addition to the bags to do tomatoes or...
Extra bags that the patron brings?
No, the store is, if the stores are actually giving them out, that is something we can look into.
Yeah.
No,
If
that's-
they are violating the ordinance.
I buy items at the farmer's market. I did not notice that.
That's
Many
good.
use actually paper where they can. And I also thought they also don't use these disposable paper bags that are plastic bags that are now banned in the township. It's really only for the wrapping of your ham and your sausages and other items where you use plastic.
I think that part of the reason for that is because it was discovered along, not here in Radnor, but at other places, that one of the major transmissions of salmonella was in your bags that you use again and again, because things like meat and stuff were not wrapped in plastic, so you let them wrap those in plastic, so the blood doesn't get onto the bag.
Yep. Well, Angela, if you want to confirm your suspicion, check it out at the farmer's market. Do you go there?
No.
No, you don't. Oh, okay. Well,
But I can.
He has.
I asked.
I will
if
check it
Sven-
when
yes.
I'm there next
Sven,
time.
okay, good.
I will do an investigation.
Thank you, Sven. All right. Okay, well, that's, I think, a wrap. No more comments. Again, another productive meeting, informative meeting. Thank you. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you.